Hello! In today's video, I want to introduce you to the new Cookie Countess AirBrush System. Inside your Cookie Countess AirBrush box, you will find a container with your airbrush gun, brief instructions, your air hose, moisture trap, AC adapter, and finally the compressor. Once you get everything unpacked, it's very easy to assemble. First, you'll want to attach the air hose to the compressor. Take one end and attach it to the white piece coming out of the right side of the compressor. This is where the air is going to come out of. Next, you'll want to attach your moisture trap. This is optional but recommended. The moisture trap is going to make sure that no extra moisture gets into your airbrush gun, either through humidity in the environment or condensation through the hose from the compressor. Next, open up your gun container. You'll notice there are three things. There's the airbrush gun itself, also a dropper that you can use to add color to the well instead of adding straight from the bottle if you prefer this method. And you're also going to find a tiny wrench that you're going to want to hang on to in case you ever need to take your airbrush gun apart to clean it. But for now, we're going to put those aside. Next, you want to attach the gun to the other end of the rubber hose. And the final step is to plug it in. So attach one end to your compressor and then plug the other end into your electrical outlet. Now you're ready to start using your airbrush. To turn it on, press the white button on the front, and you can adjust the air pressure by turning the dial to the left for less pressure or to the right for more pressure. The Cookie Countess AirBrush System is a single action airbrush system, meaning that when you turn the compressor on, you'll always feel air coming out of the gun. The color won't come back until you pull back on the trigger. I'm using my thumb to pull it back, but some people find it more comfortable to use their pointer finger. Next, let's add some airbrush color. It's always a good idea to start practicing on just a piece of paper or a piece of paper towel. You'll want to get a feel for how your airbrush gun sprays. Here I'm using the Dinky Doodle brand color, and it is Sky Blue Matte. So I'm going to pour a little bit into my well, and I'm going to start practicing with my gun. So again, you'll always feel air coming out, but the color won't come out until you pull back on the trigger. It's a great idea to just practice on a piece of paper towel and get a feel for how much color comes out when you pull back and how much color hits the page the closer you are to it versus how far away you are from it. If you want broad, even strokes, stay a little further away. If you're going for fine lines, you'll want to get a little closer. And play with the pressure on the dial and play with the amount that you pull back the trigger. This makes a really big difference when airbrushing. The more you experiment and get comfortable with your gun, the more success you'll have when you're airbrushing. Now let's try some stenciling. I'm going to use the same blue we just used and stencil this cookie with our Art Deco stencil. I'm using the Stencil Genie to place it in and pop it over the cookie. This is a great way to hold your stencil in place while you're airbrushing. I'm working on top of a cookie sheet just to protect my counter. You can put down some wax paper or use a utility mat, anything that makes you comfortable. And I always spray a little bit onto a piece of paper towel before I get started just to make sure the airflow and everything is working as it should be. and then start by airbrushing your cookie. I like to stay about 6 to 7 inches away from the surface of the cookie and aim as straight down as you can instead of coming at it from the side. This will help you get really crisp lines when you're stenciling. You'll notice I'm taking my time in getting the color down. So instead of trying to get a lot of color in one spot at once, you'll have more luck if you do light coats and go back and forth. Once you're done, place the gun back in the holder and carefully remove your stencil. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a great way to add gorgeous designs to your cookies and other treats. Next, let's clean the airbrush. You're going to want to dump out or spray out any remaining color, and then you can add either water or airbrush cleaner to the well of your gun. I usually do this over a sink, just adding water straight from the faucet. But if you're not working near a sink, a little squeeze bottle is a great way to add water. And just keep running the water through your gun until it runs clean. Once it starts running clean and then only air is coming out, I usually take a clean paper towel and wipe down the outside of it and give the front a little wipe and the inside of the well a little wipe. It's very important to clean your airbrush gun after each use so it stays ready for the next project. And that's it, you're ready to airbrush. We hope you love your Cookie Countess airbrush system. Again, you can find this at thecookiecountess.com. Thanks for watching.